Alright, the next tutorial is on restricting the iPad. Now you can do this, but a parent can do this, a teacher can do this. If you're finding that the iPad is becoming too much of a distraction for your student or your child, I'll show you how to restrict the iPad for them a little bit. So first I'm at the home page. I'm going to go into settings once again. I'm in the general tab. If I scroll down about halfway, I'm going to find restrictions. And this is where I'm going to go and kind of lock up the iPad a little bit. So I'm going to select it, and you can see that I need to enable it. So I'm going to select enable. When I select enable, I have to put a password on it. And only you should have this password because you don't want your child or student to be able to simply just go and type it in. So write this down so that you don't forget it, because if you forget it, you got to reset your whole iPad. So I'm just putting a simple one in here, and now I've enabled it. You can see all along the side here, these are all the apps that I can not allow my student or kid to use. So if you don't want them installing apps, or you don't want them using the camera, or you don't want them on Safari, I just simply have to turn it. So it is now off. They are not allowed to use it, and I'll show you that in a minute. Another thing that you can do is set the content rating. Now, ratings for, you can see we're in Venezuela right now, and we want to turn this to Canadian ratings. So I select it. You have all these countries here. I'm going to just scroll up to C's to get to Canada. And these are all the ratings that we have here in Canada on explicit materials. So first thing is, if music and iPads, I can say no, anything that is explicit, so 18 plus, I do not want them to have access to. I will go back to restrictions. I'll show you a few more that you can put on. You can also do this for movies, TV shows, books, apps. Some of the apps that we have, for example, are 17 plus. Say, for example, you only want your child to have access to ones that are 4 plus, which means there will be no violence, swearing, blood, etc. All right, so I'll enable that as well. And then also down here at the privacy. If you want to have some privacy on, especially if we're looking at Facebook, what it allows you to do is to not allow any changes to happen. So you could set up a Facebook account for your student or your kid, and then they cannot make any changes to the settings on it. It will not let them. So let me just show you some of these in action. I'm going to go back to my main screen, and now you can see I used to have Safari down here, and now it is gone because I have disabled it. So you can do that the same with your cameras as well, or any of the other apps that you want to have access to.